Hi everybody, this is Tim from Boatshed Yacht Brokers. Now if you like vintage boats, then you may be in for a treat with us today, because we're going to take you for a tour around the interior of this 1969 She 31 in virtual reality. So what does that mean to you? That means that we hope you get an idea as to what it's like to be in this boat without actually being here. You can look around where you like, when you like, just by swiping your screen or clicking and dragging your screen up, down, left or right. Now I will move the camera during this tour, so if you think you may be sensitive to that movement, I'll let you know when I'm going to move the camera, and you can avert your eyes, and then I'll let you know when the camera's safe again, and you can come back to me and we can continue the tour together. But let's hope that doesn't happen. So I've just left you up there at the beginning of this tour so that if you wanted to turn the camera around, you can do. You can look into the cockpit for a quick look around to see the general features in there, but there are lots of photos elsewhere in the advert. So let's bring you inside. I'll just lift the camera, so there we go, and I'll place you on the chart table. There we are, so the camera's now safe. So you're in the boat with me. Now welcome on board this She 31. Now what do you think? Well, what kind of space is she? Well, she is very light and bright and airy down here, helped by the fact that we have the forepeak hatch open and the companionway open, but we've got 4 reasonably large windows, so she's feeling great. She feels vintage. She's got vintage features such as the engine hatch being right out into the saloon, although there's no ladder there, etc, etc. There are vintage features all over the boat. She's feeling tired. If you look around, you can see that the headlinings could do with being redone if you want perfection. The inside of the coach roof here could do with being redone. Some woodwork could do with being revarnished or rubbed down and revarnished, etc. But generally speaking, she feels a nice place to be. She doesn't smell damp, and she just feels like that kind of vintage she that we've all come to know and love. But let's have a look around, shall we? Well, first point to mention, my first observation coming onto this boat, or my first observation getting out of the cabin, was that it's quite a big step up to the engine box here, and it's a bigger step up to the companionway there. So if you're not steady on your feet, then I think we'd be definitely looking at manufacturing some kind of ladder here, because there doesn't appear to be one fitted. That would be number one for me, definitely. The benefits, of course, of the engine box protruding so far into the saloon is that A, you've got somewhere else to sit, which is really handy, but also if we lift the lid in here, you can see we've got the engine, and it means that we've got really quick and easy access. We've got great access all around the engine as well, so working on her should be a dream for the engineers. You can work on here whilst simultaneously popping the kettle on for a cup of tea. How handy is that? Now if you just concentrate on the aft end at the moment, you can see I did mention getting in and out. The hatchway is a reasonable size actually. We do have handles either side to help us get down. And in a seaway, I mean, these are tried and tested boats. They've been around for years. In a seaway, you've got lots to grab onto. You've got the handles, you've got this post, this straight through to here. We've got the bulkhead, we've got the mast down here, and a bit of a handhold here as well. So there's lots to hold on to. There's always something to brace against. So you're going to be good down here in a seaway. I think I'd feel happy in this boat actually, because she feels nice and solid. But let's go back to the aft. I was off on one then, wasn't I? But in the middle here we've got a box here. Obviously there's winch handles, etc. in there. I'd be a bit careful about throwing things in there, because you've got the electrics. Maybe that could do with being covered up, just in case somebody's a bit hasty in throwing things in there. But port and starboard quarter berths, very long and very wide. Quite low though, but generally speaking, look quite comfortable, with storage beneath as well. And the starboard one has the battery underneath there too. And just above the port one here, you can see we've got a chart stowage in there, which is really handy. Nice and out of the way, although it does lower the height down slightly, but you're only going to be lying in there anyway, aren't you, everybody? So maybe not much of a problem. On this boat we've squeezed in stowage everywhere. Everywhere where there's somewhere with a flat surface that can be boxed in, we have got stowages, which is really great. Something that these days could be a little bit better, I think. Please take note, yacht designers, but there we go. And then on the starboard side, we've got the galley here, so we've got a gimbal stove here, 2 gas burners, thank you motorbikes. We've got a grill underneath here as well, We've got a sliding door cupboard behind for your plates, etc. Nice cupboard behind here for your pots and pans. And if I just do the lock back up, and we've got a small, nice, compact sink here again. Drawers underneath, cupboard underneath for, oh, that's a bin in there, look, very handy, and stowage underneath there too. So really handy to cook at. And actually, another benefit of this is, yes, I would be quite happy sitting here and knocking up my my cup of soups and my tea actually. But there we go. Right. Looking down, you can see we've got a very nice deck actually in here on the flooring. Lifts up very easily, very shallow bilge. I'll just lift it up for you. There we go. And as you can see, we've got easy access to the keel bolts. Nearly forgot what they were called then. Look a little bit rusty, but they look dry. But maybe it's the surveyor's job to assess those and see how good they are. But yeah, very nice, clean, dry bilge under there. And if I just move back onto the engine box, again, we'll look around the saloon. So on the starboard side here, we've got seating for 2 in comfort, or seating for 1 in amazing comfort. We've got a shelf outboard, and again, stowage beneath there, very nice, and a little cupboard mirrored on the port side. And on the port side, we've got the camera, which is sitting on a chart table, which I won't move the camera now, but the chart table does lift up, and we can tie it up out of the way to give us access to the entire sofa, which runs from the forward bulkhead to here. So we've got a really nice long sofa, or a really nice long berth. Shelf outboard again, we've got the the VHF radio up there, just underneath the coach roof, there underneath the side deck, sorry, and we've also got stowage underneath the chairs too. Very nice feature. Always, I don't know why more manufacturers don't do this, but if you watch my channels, you'll know what a fan I am of them with my boat, Media Blue. I won't get it out in full, but we've got the nice opening up saloon table, which just opens up, drops down onto here. Oh, there we go, sorry, there we go, drops down onto there. This rotates, and you've got yourself a nice big saloon table with probably eating space for 4, I imagine. There we go. Pictures of it are in the advert, all assembled, so to give you a good idea. So all in all, down here, I like it. The head height's just 5 foot, just under 5'9" for me. Just slopes down as we go forwards. So the taller amongst you may be compromised slightly, but it does feel like a nice space. I'd do some work down here. I think with some really nice upholstery, a bit of paint, a bit of varnish, something up here, could be a really nice space. But actually, for the price of what she is, I think you're getting a lot of boat for your money. There we go. Right, let's lift the camera up, and I will take you through. And I'm going to bypass the head for a moment, and I'll put you in the forward cabin. There we go. So welcome to the forward cabin of this She 31. I've got the mast coming down here, as you can see, which I'm going to lean on quite comfortably. Now you're in the forward cabin. If you take a look around, you can see we've got the chain locker up forwards. That may be something you want to put a lid on to keep the damp in there if you're using the anchor. But we've got nice, reasonably long, reasonably wide V berth here. As you can see, we've got the V infill here, so you've got a full double bed if you want it. Really nice. And underneath, as with most of this boat, underneath, behind, etc., etc., we've got lots of stowage for ropes, battery chargers, all sorts of bits and pieces under there. So nice little cabin for somebody. No door on the cabin. So that's probably long gone. I can see where the hinges were, so I'm guessing somebody thought they had a better use for that, but it does mean that we don't have privacy between the forward cabin and the head, but maybe that's something you'd like to remedy. Who knows, that might be up to you. But let's pick you up and put you down. You're now sitting safely on the port side of the heads. Shall I stay here? Yes, I'll wait here, and I think it's the best place for me to stand. But here we go, we're in the heads. The thwartships, full distance. On the outboard side, on the starboard side, we've got a nice hanging locker here. As you can see, we've got access to the chain plates, or some of the chain plates here. And we've got drawers, which have generally got things like flags, first aid in, etc. I think they were probably originally for individual crew members for their bars of soap and whatnot. Again, storage crammed in everywhere they can, which is really nice. Good access to the bilge, good access to the base of the mast as well. And nestling on the port side here, we've got a normal head and a manual head and a sink. And what I would say is that I think that anybody using this head would probably need to be sitting down, but actually sitting down here, there's plenty of space. Now if I just swap spaces, handily we've got the hatch open, you can see that we have got a sliding door which will give you privacy between the saloon and the head. So all in all, pretty good. Right then, let's pick you up for the last time. I'll take you back through to the saloon. I'll place you back where we first started. There we go, back on the navigation table. So this has been Tim from Boatshed Brighton Yacht Brokers, taking you around the interior in virtual reality, 3D, whatever you like to call it, of this She 31 from 1969. Hope you've been able to appreciate the space and you feel like you might know the boat. If you'd like to come and see her, just let us know. You'll find lots more pictures, videos and virtual reality pictures at boatshedbrighton.com. It's been great to have you on board. Thanks for looking around with us. Stick with us for lots more tours around boats. Take care.